The left doesn't care about Black lives unless those Black lives agree with them. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Freedom Pines podcast. I'm your host, Jamie AB. So today last night I signed on to TikTok to see left-leaning creators defending Trudeau about Trudeau calling himself a Zionist. Yes, indeed, the same people who would cancel you if you had Starbucks and ruin your actual life and get you fired from your job if you had Starbucks after October 7th are now turning around and basically saying and giving excuses as to why it's okay that Justin Trudeau has called himself this. And I just want to ask the left this. If you're a left-leaning person watching this video, I just need to know, why do you continuously hold up the most white privileged person ever? Why don't you actually hold the people who have white privilege accountable? Can anybody tell me that? Because the left is able to look the other way when it comes to pro-choice matters if, that matter is for the greater good, aka getting you-know-whats because it's for the greater good, despite, our death count going, mysteriously up since 2021. I don't know what that could be from. People are okay with women being locked in their homes with their abusers if it is for the greater good. Justin Trudeau should be allowed to call himself a Zionist, wear blackface, embezzle our money, freeze bank accounts of people protesting their bodily autonomy because it's for the greater good. Is it? Oh, we should be able to turn off America's power because it's for the greater good, because Orange Man bad, and that's for the greater good. We should tell everybody that being really overweight is healthy no matter what because that's for the greater good. We should tell everybody to amplify Black voices except for Candace Owens because she's part of the alt-right pipeline because that's for the greater good. Women shouldn't choose to stay home with their families because that would ruin all of the progress that the feminists have made, and that's for the greater good. We should be anti-peace talks because Trump bad, Zelensky good, for the greater good. We should let men play in women's sports for the greater good. Yeah, okay, or we could have a logical discussion about that and have maybe an LGBTQ plus league. How wouldn't that fix literally everything? Can someone tell me? We should allow anyone to call themselves anything because it's for the greater good, despite actually it putting women in danger. Yeah, because it's for the greater good. We should be able to let teachers transition students at school because that's for the greater good, despite it being some weird psychological experiment on children to let them transition at school and have them make them transition back when they go home. Yeah, that's for the greater good. So I'm going to have to agree with that. I'm just going to ignore the fact that in history, it really wasn't a good thing for teachers to make decisions for students behind parents' back, but I'm going to support it now because it's for the greater good. I'm not going to acknowledge the femicide happening in Canada, probably due to, the bail laws that exist here, because it's for the greater good, you guys. I'm going to ignore the fact that mass immigration and having completely open borders has sunk our social services into the ground. And I will be calling people racist if they criticize that because it's for the greater good. I'm going to look away from the fact that 50,000 people all being white, have chose to unalive themselves via the government because it's for the greater good. I'm sure it doesn't have to do with the 75,000 Canadians that have died from lack of access to healthcare since, 2016 magically. And I'm going to look away and pretend that it's not a nation problem because it's the premiers that have, come and gone all of this time that have absolutely destroyed our healthcare. It couldn't be the DEI practices, the fact that nobody actually listens to frontline workers, and, the fact that we stabbed everybody to make sure that they kept their jobs. No, that's all for the greater good, right, guys? I'm actually going to look away from the fact that there have been blatant hate crimes against the actual LGBTQ plus group done by immigrants because that's for the greater good. I'm going to look away from stories of gang rapes from immigrants because, that's for the greater good too. I'm going to pretend that Justin Trudeau has had nothing to do with our sinking economy because, oh my gosh, if Pierre Poilievre gets in, we're doomed. we're doomed. And I don't really care that people can't afford food, can't afford their homes. There's never been more food bank usage or homelessness or deaths in Canada. But I'm sure that has nothing to do with Trudeau. And if we don't vote for Trudeau, or if we don't vote for the Liberals next, then we're not contributing to the greater good, you guys. Despite, every single one of those candidates has had a hand in helping Trudeau put through all of the policies and legislation that he has put through that have destroyed this country. We're also going to look away from the fact that the United Nations said that our immigration system, where CEOs get $10,000 to hire someone that's a foreigner, is actually a breeding grounds for modern day slavery because it's for the greater good. Okay. I'm going to look away from all of the people who have been injured by the vaccine because that was for the greater good. That was for the greater good. And in Justin Trudeau's own words, some people may have been hurt, but I never forced anyone to take it. Well, you did, because coercion doesn't equal consent, my guy. So it is a right-wing dog whistle to be concerned about the impact of birth control on your body. So we better not talk about it for the greater good, because it might send us down the alt-right pipeline, and we wouldn't want to open our minds to how the other side thinks and listen to them and their worries. No, because it's for the greater good. See, the left has lost their ever-loving mind. Ever-loving mind. The more that they dance around the fact that they allow all of the things that they say the right is guilty for to happen and just let it happen and don't hold people to accountability, the more they're going to see the left leave in droves. Okay, I'm talking the left lecturing people who were in red states during the hurricane, okay, rather than actually offering them help. The left has lost the plot entirely because they're so convinced of Pierre Poilievre bad, Donald Trump bad. And I'm not saying that I agree with everything that Pierre or Donald Trump do in the slightest, but to come on these apps and defend Justin Trudeau after he says that he's a Zionist, there are people who have lost their livelihoods, you guys, because of the left not actually standing on their ethics and morals. To say that we don't have access to EI and let people's houses get foreclosed because you think that they should have gotten an experiment put into their arm, that's going to stick with people for life. All of the things that have happened to me in the last 5 years are beyond my control. And that's why I speak out, because I no longer feel in control of my life. I no longer feel that I can do the things that I need to do to get ahead in life, because every single time I have done that, my government stomps on me, okay? Whether that be, I'm just working, I'm getting going established in my career, and you guys force me to take 2 of these, and then I can't work. And then I try my photography job. You guys allow these people to come into our country and steal from us, okay? It's absurd. And then you have the left who's not at all listening to what the right-leaning people or anybody is saying in Canada. And they'll just sit there, and the actual marginalized voice is like, people cannot eat. We have 2 million people in our food banks. Have I ever heard the left talk about that? Have I? Because they'll say, oh, it's just greedy CEOs. I agree, it's greedy CEOs. But tell me why it's so much cheaper to shop in Walmart in the States than it is Canada. Probably because of our high taxes. No? I don't know. Basically, I'm pretty convinced that our people, our Canadians, a lot of Canadians, if our media told them to jump off a bridge, they would. And that scares the shit out of me. What has our media done that the left are okay with Justin Trudeau calling himself a Zionist? Tell me, what kind of spell does our media have over the left? What? Oh, and the more that the left rearrange their thoughts and cognitively disassociate to make whatever their person is doing okay, is someone over here looking at them like, you've got to be kidding me. So I honestly think I missed some. If I missed any, let me know. But yeah, I had to make this video because I genuinely, it makes me sick to my stomach that the left would defend him on that, of all things. Anyways, have a good day, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.